Good morning, everyone. Welcome. You're watching Visionary Aging. I'm Mary Winters, a gerontologist, the owner of About Senior Solutions, and we are here to empower you with solutions and resources and all kinds of wonderful information to support you at any age. And we have the marvelous Melinda Hughes. Never fear, Melinda's here. She is going to share all kinds of little tips and secrets on how tiny little changes can actually lead to huge successes and big changes in our life. So I think that'll be really important and fun to watch. We have Steve McCullough, who has a caregiver question for us today, and uh, we are going to celebrate a very special birthday too. So um, let's go ahead and get started. I think we should get started with Steve McCullough first, and see if he has his caregiver question. I don't know if anybody wrote out today or not, so let's see. Let's see what happens. Oh, he's coming. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. So, did a caregiver question come in this week, or?
It did. So, question comes from a gentleman. His children want him to take the COVID booster shot,
Ooh, okay.
and he's not comfortable taking it. He wants to know if he's going to have to take it, if, like you have to be vaccinated to attend certain events. Or is that same situation going to apply for the booster? Like, are you going to have the booster shot to, go to events or go to certain places, things like that?
That is such a great question, and I think it's a very personal answer, honestly. And quite frankly, I've gotten conflicting information from two enormous healthcare systems saying, wait unless you are severely immunocompromised, and the other one saying, we've got your vaccine here, so come on in. So I think it's very personal. Obviously, it's not a mandate for anything. We're seeing a lot of mandates within healthcare as far as employees being vaccinated and so forth, and that's even been a little bit tricky. I'm hoping that there will be some investigation or some opportunity for people to look at the antibodies, and I think some people may already be relatively immune. So in any event, I think it's helped, and I think many people feel very secure, and that's what they want to do. And um, I will. I think we just need to wait for more information, but I know it is available to people, and I think it's a very personal decision as far as doing that booster or not. So that is my answer in a nutshell.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, I know. So, will you hang out with us? We have kind of an interesting birthday today, so hang out with us a little bit, and I'm going to pull up our wonderful little video for our birthday. Hold on just a second.
Excellent.
We have a super special birthday today, and I want to go ahead and share this person with you a little bit. You know, I know we always talk about somebody who's 100, but it was Steve's birthday, and I don't think as viewers, you really know who Steve is. So I would like to bring him on. He doesn't know we're doing this, so bring him on and see if he'll share a little bit about who he is. I'll drop this bigger picture and bring Steve back in. So happy birthday, Steve. Oh, I probably muted him too, so you can't hear him. So here we go. Happy birthday, Steve.
Tricky. I have to be careful what I post on my social media.
I know. So I ripped those pictures off your social media, and tell everybody, tell our viewers a little bit about you, because you come on and ask a caregiver question. You've been really generous with your time. I know it's a passion in the community to serve the community, and you are always really concerned about your parents and making sure that they're well.
Sure.
I snagged these pictures from from your Facebook, and I don't know if people can tell, but Steve is part of the tournament. And so maybe you could just share a little bit about who you are, and just thank you for always presenting that question for us too.
Sure. So brief history. I grew up in Ohio. I was born there. I was raised there till just before my 11th birthday. Moved out to California. My dad got transferred from his job, so we ended up in California. Neat thing about living in Ohio, I literally had all of my extended family within like 30 minutes of me. So I had an uncle that lived right behind us. My godmother lived right across the street, and both my grandmothers lived up the street. So there's a big sense of community, a big sense of family. And there was always someone looking out for you, no matter what we were doing. You know, we were able to play outside till, you know, way past the streetlights came on, because we were with community. You know, everybody knew each other and everybody looked after each other. So that's something that really has stuck with me throughout my years. You know, family is very important. Moved to California and went to school in Inland Empire. I went to the college in Santa Barbara. I moved to Pasadena for a 3-month temporary job in '94. And, you know, here we are 27 years later. Didn't really know too many people in Pasadena, so I happened to find a junior chamber of commerce, which is a leadership development through community service organization, and just got really involved in that. Was fortunate to serve as the president of that organization back in 1998. I was reminded how old I was at a past president event recently. And then the natural progression from, if you still wanted to be involved in community, people typically join the JCs in every net organization for 4 or 5 years, give or take. And if you wanted to continue to be involved in the community, you would join tournament. And at that time, the tournament, you know, to join tournament, you had to be, I believe it was 26 or 27. So, so I joined pretty much as soon as I could, and just had some amazing experiences, you know, meeting some really great people, working with people like you, and just, you know, we get to appreciate how much Pasadena has to offer, and how many people really love the history and the tradition, which are, you know, two big things in my life. And to be able to share that with Pasadena and share that with our guests that come from literally from around the world, right?
Yeah.
To view the parade and the game. So, yeah, so it's been really awesome. You know, that's me in a nutshell.
Oh, neat. And so let me kind of jog some of these pictures around a little bit too. This was kind of a highlight when we had a full parade. This is kind of a highlight. Maybe you can share a little bit about this picture.
Sure. So this is Cornelius Green. He was inducted into our Rose Bowl Hall of Fame the last game we had. So he was part of the 2019 class. We didn't have a 2020 class. Cornelius was the first Black quarterback to play football at Ohio State University. He was the quarterback there in the mid-'70s. This picture is from a meet and greet that Mary Winters, our host, organized at a local restaurant. And that what I'm holding there is one of Corny's friends does these figurines and sells them and gives them away for charity events. So he brought that out from Ohio to gift to me.
Oh, I was wondering where that was from. Yeah, that's really neat. It was just an incredible man. A really great experience. If you are interested in the tournament, I highly suggest participating or trying out to be a tournament member. It really is a thrill, and I think people think we're crazy, especially in our white suits in January. But
right, scooters.
But it is so fun. Just I've always had a fantastic experience. Things that I would never be exposed to without being in tournament, and the people who are members are just also so amazing. It's such a wonderful fellowship.
Yeah. So funny story, real quick story about Corny. When I was in Ohio, I was 6 or 7, somewhere around there, and I remember being in our basement watching football on TV. And this is back when, there was like one game on a week, and, wasn't always like the Big Ten team or your favorite team. You just, whatever that was like that big game, that's what you watched. My first game I remember watching was Ohio State, and they were playing their big rival, TTUN, and Corny was a quarterback. of the Ohio State team. And if you saw him play in college, he was very recognizable. So I remember watching him and seeing him on the sidelines and asked my dad, "Who's that guy?" But that was the first memory I have of watching football, a college football game.
Wow, it was with Corny, and
Mhm.
he went through it 4 times, which was absolutely incredible and
Yeah,
just amazing.
great person,
Amazing.
great football player, better person.
Oh yeah, amazing. Well, I think we're going to go on and talk a little bit. Oh, you know what? Let's really quickly let's bring up our our perk. Bye, Courtney. We'll say goodbye to you, and hopefully we'll have you on the program one of these days soon.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
We have the perk. So let's see. For this weekend, I think it's Patriots Day, and let's see here. Maybe we should just make this big. If you are interested in getting this information, we have it for free for you. It includes puzzles and conversations and jokes and word search. And so let's see. Today actually is Constitution Day and Citizenship Day. So celebrate. Maybe have your flag out. But tomorrow starts Oktoberfest, so that's kind of fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's go ahead.
Get behind that.
Yeah, we'll bring up Melinda, and we'll talk a little bit about how teeny little changes can make huge differences. So come on, maybe you can come in and ask a few questions with her, and we'll have a nice conversation. So
sounds good.
If you have questions, come on in and ask us a question. Here we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
I'm great. Yep. I see you're in the straight shop.
Yep. Here we are. Another Friday.
Great.
Is Steve coming on? It was
He's
his
gonna
birthday.
come on and talk with us. Yeah. Should we add him right now? Let's add him right now then.
I think so. I wanted to tell him I was born and raised in Ohio.
No way.
Hello.
We have a huge Ohio connection here.
Yeah.
What part?
In Ohio? I was on the outskirts of Cleveland in a suburb called Westlake.
Okay.
Yeah.
I grew up in Youngstown, which is we're about like 5 minutes from Pennsylvania border.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, there's a lot of Ohio people that come out to California. We like the sunshine.
I was actually talking to somebody at an event yesterday, and somehow I mentioned Ohio, and he's like, "Are you from Ohio?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm from Ohio too." He was from Sandusky area.
It's a surprisingly big state, and we kind of stay in our sections, don't we? Like I don't think I've ever been to Youngstown. Of course, I know where it is, but
and lots of great music there too, right?
People have been through Youngstown.
They what?
People go through Youngstown.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Ohio. I haven't been there in a long time because of COVID and traveling.
It's so interesting. We were back for a wedding 4 years ago now, and it's just a different lifestyle. It's so green, and the pace is so much slower. We had like a family group that got together for dinner one night, and we were drinking gin and tonics that were $1.87 each.
Yeah.
I think you can go to the Elks Club and maybe get one about half. Yeah. About twice that, but still not.
And it was interesting because they broke it down. So you paid like your gin was like 75 cents and a tonic was like $1.25 or something like that. So you had like a breakdown.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always nice on the pocketbook to go to Ohio. It's a good.
Great.
It's good.
So tell us.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you. Actually, a 9/11 birthday. So my birthday was last Saturday.
Okay.
I know we kind of missed, so we wanted to like step back a little bit and say, I think we need to celebrate Steve. So.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I second that.
And thank you, and thank both of you for being on and dedicating this time because it's you guys are devoted, and I really appreciate it. And I think our listeners really appreciate all of your information too. So share a little bit about the teeny little changes that we can make to make
Yeah,
huge results.
we were talking about that, and I think even last on the last week's live stream, we talked a little bit about just standing up. You know, as far as exercise, small little things that you do can make a big impact. And I recently did a little bit of study on bending the aging curve, or
Wow.
reversing or slowing physiological aging, which is the aging of the body. And one of the key things was just stand up. So like those
Yeah.
standing desks, just stand more, and it really makes your body younger. I recently had a client who, this is a great example of small changes that can make a big difference. Recently had a client who cut out sodas, and it's been 3 months. So actually her results were, a couple of weeks ago, but she lost a pretty big chunk of weight just simply not drinking soda. And it was a small change that she felt was doable, that was sustainable for her to make. And she committed to it, and it paid off in a really big way. And I'm sure it's going to continue to pay off. So it's interesting how these little tweaks in our diet, or these little tiny changes, end up making a big difference, because it's that accumulative effect over, days, weeks, months, and years that really make the impact. Yeah.
Really
So,
true. I
um,
know about 10 years ago, I started making little incremental changes with my
yeah.
food. I noticed my kids weren't drinking sodas because they had braces. And so they kind of
Mhm.
influenced us to just stop buying any of that. And so we stopped drinking sodas quite a long time ago. And then it was dairy products. I stopped
Yep.
eating dairy. And then it was really slowing down, not drinking coffee. And I'm kind of breaking away from black tea even with the caffeine. And
Yep.
I'm working out with you, and Eva's working out with you, and I think we're
And
making,
loving it.
yeah, better and
Yeah.
younger. So,
That's the one of the things that they teach you when you go to school for nutrition is to make incremental changes. You never want to, I mean, that's a big part of the counseling strategy for a practitioner, is you never want to overwhelm your client. So it's all about, let's make tiny little shifts, almost imperceptible, where you can sustain that, and it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm on this diet, or I have this, it's not
yeah,
this huge change, that
right,
it's just this tiny little tweak. And then once you're, once you see the results that come from that tiny little tweak, and it becomes just habit, it just becomes
it
part of your
does,
lifestyle,
it does.
then you're ready for the next little tweak, and
Yeah,
then you can kind
sure.
of see even more. And it's just seeing what you can do. So in your example, Mary, it was like, oh, okay, I can cut these sodas out because we're not buying them for the kids right now. And it was just something that felt really doable and really easy. And then you moved on to the next little thing. But to go to if you had started and said, okay, well, now I'm not going to drink any sodas, and I'm going to stay away from all dairy products, and I'm going to,
Hmm.
it's too much. It's too
Yeah,
big of a lifestyle change all at once, that you have to kind of implement these habits. You have to implement the changes so that it's sustainable, that it's
right.
not too big of a changing your whole life all in one day.
Right. And it kind of becomes, oh, I can't do that, or I can't have that, or I can't
Hmm.
to, I'm cutting
Yep.
that out right now. And it's kind of a day by day thing and deciding, well, should I, shouldn't I? And it's just little. And then all of a sudden it's like, I don't do sodas. I kind of almost feel
Yeah.
snobby about it after a while. It's like, no, I don't. No, thank you. I don't do sodas.
Mary, one of the shows I was on from the beginning, we talked about nutrition. We were talking about, I had asked a question about how much water we should drink per day.
Uh-huh.
And I remember that. I remember the answer. I remember thinking I need to really incorporate more water. And I really don't drink sodas anymore. I drink a lot more water, and I like crave
Yeah.
water. When I go out to restaurants or at work, I'm always grabbing water, and it's been like huge.
Yep.
Just the way that it affects your body. And I think I bought 3 12 packs of soda like back in February, and I still have like one left, and I drink it. Like there's a couple of times like a week maybe where I'm like, I need a soda, and I'm thinking, okay, well, what's going on with my body that I'm craving? What is it? Is it the sugar or what? The caffeine? But I really don't. I just kind of cut that out of my diet, and it's been great.
That is great.
Yeah, I think too. What helps me. Well, I have two things. I have two things to contribute to this. So, when I think I was 18 or 19, I stopped eating all fast food because I read the book Fast Food Nation, and I can't remember the author's name, but the book is Fast Food Nation. It's kind of like a nutrition classic, but it talks about the fast food industry and a lot of different aspects of it. Food quality, but also treatment of workers, employees, animals, that kind of thing. And so it kind of put me off. And so I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do the fast food anymore. And so I haven't eaten fast food. What is it now? I don't know. So that's like more than 20 years. And then a couple of years ago, somebody said, "Oh, In-N-Out isn't fast food. You have to try this." So I have tried In-N-Out burgers. I have eaten In-N-Out burgers, but as far as other fast food restaurants, I haven't eaten fast food in more than 20 years. And it was just kind of like, it was just because I did some research. I looked into what I was actually eating, and I decided, that's what sometimes makes big changes, like no fast food for the rest of your life, really easy to do, because you just decide, this is no longer for me. I just don't want to. I'm not into it anymore.
It doesn't taste like food anymore. After your palate changes, it doesn't even taste like food anymore. You don't
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's different. So the smell even turns me off now. But my husband and I decided starting in July of 2021 that we weren't going to drink alcohol until our trip to Hawaii in December. And so we were just like, alcohol, no more alcohol. And so the first week it was really difficult because he's European and we like to drink wine at night. And so it was just like, it felt very depriving. And every once in a while, I mean, we're still not drinking alcohol, but every once in a while we feel like, oh man, like it would be nice to have a glass of wine right about now. But it also becomes kind of like a contest with yourself where it's like, well, we went this far, we can't break it now. So, that's how I felt when I gave up fast food. And that's how I feel with this alcohol cleanse, or this, lack of alcohol for several months. Is it's kind of like you get on a roll and then you're like, well, I came this far and I'm kind of proud of it and I'm kind of feeling good. So I'm going to keep doing this one little thing and, see how it pans out. So my husband's lost a little bit of weight in his belly, so we're thinking it's doing us well right now. We're doing good with it.
Nice.
So we're keeping it up. But there's different ways that people can make changes like that. You can find what works for you, whether it's doing a little bit of research into, for instance, what soda does to your body when you drink it. If you do enough reading about that, you'll definitely think twice. It kind of ruins it when you go to drink one.
I know.
That's all you can think about.
Doesn't every kid's science fair have somebody testing the Coca-Cola and what it does to the penny and what it does to I don't know, denture, or what it does to whatever they can throw together? And it's like, ew, that is kind of gross.
The car mechanics use it to clean the piping on your car or whatever.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's like, it's not the greatest, but it's also the sugar content, acidic, the acidity of it, but the sugar content is like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And an interesting part of nutrition is if they'll say like a bagel is the same as eating a donut. When you really look at sometimes when you really look at the sugar content of some of the things, I mean, depending on what donut it is. Now you can get a donut that's like topped with all sorts of, like they have really crazy donuts available now. It's not just but you know what I mean? Like sometimes when you compare foods that are healthy, the big example that I always use with clients is yogurt. If you look on the back of your yogurt package, if it's sweetened at all, that's you might as well eat a cinnamon bun or a donut for breakfast. You're not doing yourself any favors as far as sugar content. Yogurt should taste sour. It should have that. It's not usually what people are eating. but yeah, you know, if you really look at the sugar content of some of these things, that's another way to make incremental changes. Because it's like, well, if I'm going to eat that much sugar, it better be a big piece of dark chocolate cake with a scoop of ice cream. I don't
Yeah.
want to get my sugar from, you know, Coca-Cola or
Right. Make it
that
count.
kind of thing.
There you go. Make it count.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sounds really good.
Make it worth it.
Yeah, it's like
So
we'll have to talk another time about natural and artificial sweeteners and what might be the healthiest
yes,
for us too. So maybe you could talk about that next week. We'd love to hear
I
about
would
something
love
like
to,
that.
because that's a whole topic on its own. Artificial sweeteners are more damaging to your body than just sugar,
Hmm.
you know. And then of course the natural sugar of just adding some white table sugar is better, you know, is a better choice than something that has high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is you know, pretty demonized in society, but there's a reason for it. It's because it's a very highly concentrated form of sugar. So when it hits our bloodstream, it's like, ah, it's like you're electrocuted a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
So
Yeah.
There's a
Well,
show, there's a show that I watched when COVID first hit and everyone was home hunkered in, and you know we were watching all these like TV shows and documentaries. I think it was called What the Health. Have you guys seen that?
great name.
yeah, I think I've seen that one. I remember the title because I remember the title being really funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that talked about just how bad everything other than like a plant-based diet is bad for you.
Yeah.
Dairy, red meat, even fish with the mercury. There was something wrong with and when you think about it, it really makes a lot of sense. And actually, when I was trying to incorporate more of a plant-based diet, like last summer when I was home, I could really have more control over what I was eating, and it was really great.
Yeah.
I was eating just a lot of like steamed vegetables, which I didn't think would give me enough like food, you know, to eat the day to like keep me like not hungry all the time. But it didn't. That wasn't the case. I felt full, and I think I lost like 15 pounds in like a couple months.
Yeah, it's really, we're supposed to eat plant-based because we're not supposed to have meat and fish as often as we do. I mean, I think Americans typically eat every meal. I know that I get into that habit too. That's definitely, you know, something that my husband and I are even like, oh, we need to eat more plant-based, more vegetables, cut out some of the meat. We're now limiting ourselves to red meat once a month. But you know, there are nutrients that we need in red meat and fish. So it's, you know, certainly you can use supplements, but it's better for your body if you get those nutrients from real whole food sources that aren't grown with pesticides or raised with antibiotics. But
Right.
It does get frustrating. My husband expresses a lot of frustration all the time. He's like, we can't have fish because it has mercury. We can't have this because it has this. Like, what are you supposed to eat? And you know, it does, you know, you kind of have to, our world is toxic. I was having a conversation with someone at one point and they wondered, oh, but why did you have to study environmental pollution and environmental health with your nutrition degree? And it's because that is our food. Our food is our world. And if we live in a polluted world, we're eating polluted food. And that's just what it is. So the health of our world is the health of our bodies, which is also fascinating. So yeah, we do have to make concessions. We're going to have a little mercury here and there.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Melinda, I know you're going to have someone come into the shop pretty soon.
Yeah, my client is here.
So tell us
I've got to find my mask. And
tell us what your phone number is there.
Oh, on the strength shop?
Yeah.
Okay, 626-999-4850. 626-999-4850.
And I think I just got my glasses on. I think I did it right. Let's see.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. So if you wanna learn more about nutrition and feeling your best and having a great 20-minute workout once a week to actually build that bone density and your muscle strength, I highly recommend talking with Melinda.
Reach out.
I would echo that.
Melinda is here.
I would definitely echo that. If you ever thought about going to the strength shop, don't think about it. Do it. You're gonna love it. You'll be hooked after the first session.
You will.
I
You
like the
absolutely
endorsement. Thank you.
will.
All
All
right,
right,
guys, I'm going to
Melinda.
sign off.
Bye.
Have a great one.
Have a good weekend.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
I love how generous she is with her time and her knowledge. It's so helpful for all of us.
Yes.
And again, Melinda Hughes over at the Strength Shop. You see the phone number 626-999-4850. And I think we're going to go ahead and head off and start our day. So maybe we'll go ahead and take off as well. How's that?
Thank you for the birthday wishes.
Absolutely. You deserve it. So I'm sorry we didn't do it last week, but we fit you in there. We fit you in. So
It's all good.
all right.
I'm celebrating all month.
Okay. Yeah, you should. Everybody should celebrate their birthday all month, especially during COVID. So, all right, my friend. Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.